Greetings to the 13 tribes of Israel scattered in the four corners of the earth, and to the Gentiles called by the awesome fairy name of YAHUAH. YAHUAH'S. This is the awesome fairy name that is above all name, eternal. Shabbat Shalom, much love and much prosperity attend you formally, for you are the only reason of our timeline truth, because the time is simply near. Just as we see the days goes by, so draw nigh the coming of Yahushua HaMashiach. Just as the Malach of Yahuwah saith unto Yehokanai, the Revelator, seal not the prophecies of this book, for the time is simply near. Exactly what we are doing here formally, decoding end times, prophecies, signs, dreams, in preparing people like you, body like you, house like you, for the blessed returning of King Yahushua HaMashiach, our eternal bridegroom, to whom due eternally all worship, service, honor, love, power, riches, glory, wealth, to the glory of his magnificent Abba, Yahuwah, the Almighty, and to the Ruach HaKodesh, yes, to the Ruach HaKodesh, to the Ruach HaKodesh, to the Ruach HaKodesh. Yes, the very DNA, the very fire, consuming fire of Abba Yahuwah. He is the consuming fire. He is the fire that burns eternal. He is the unquenchable fire. This one burns eternal. The very fire that consumes Pharaoh, the very fire that consumes iniquity, horrible sin, Dayaba, is the Ruach HaKodesh, our best friend, our teacher, comforter, revelator, is all inclusive. And again, is the very dangerous part, the no-go area. They don't touch me there. The unpardonable part of Abba Yahuwah, that is to say, don't blaspheme. Abba Yahuwah gave you and I everything in heart, except this one. Don't touch me here. Is the Ruach HaKodesh. I love him so much. Thank you, Abba Yahuwah, for giving me your eternal spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, Abba Yahuwah, you have been worshipped, praised, honored, served, loved right in the temple of your eternal handmaid, your very Isha, for you are my Abba, also my eternal husband. I just love you, Abba Yahuwah. I love you above all. I love you. Yes, I love you above all things. I simply do. Thank you, Abba, for giving me your word, King Yahushua HaMashiach, my eternal husband. And I thank you, Eternal, for giving me your spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, also my eternal husband. Thank you, Abba Yahuwah, yes, for giving me yourself. You are my Abba, also my eternal husband. I love you, Abba. To you, Abba, be all the glory. Be all the honor, Abba, to you. Be all the glory. Be all the honor forevermore. Abba, to you be all the glory, be all the honor, yes, Abba, to you be all the worship forevermore. I love you. I love you. All right, now, family, with this being said, here we are in the heavenly courtroom of Abba Yahuwah with this powerful message stated for you and me. Why TbJoker was buried in his synagogue of all demons is reinforcement of let the dead bury their own dead. A mystery now that was unfold in this message. I pray, Abba Yahuwah, give me the enablement, yes, the power, the anointing to spew it all out, to, speak it all. The room, the time, and the enablement, the overflowing anointing of Abba Yahuwah to help me to Just speak it out just the way it is. It is fully loaded. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Are we ready to look into why was this, charlatan or demons, satanic entity buried in the synagogue? I don't care whether you said it's not the altar or it's not the very department where you fellowship. I don't just care. Synagogue is synagogue. Whether the vicinity or whatever, I don't just care. Synagogue is simply synagogue. Why is it because you said it's synagogue of all demons? Because that is not the synagogue of all nations. This one is a personator. The very one Yahushua, the Ezekiel temple, that is the gathering, that is the synagogue of all nations, not this nonsense filthy one of this impersonator. Anyways, let's drop this and let's look into the title and scripture to validate this very wonderful title. Okay, like you know already, in this platform we have many facts, so many scriptures we always give out because the royal law makes it so clear that precept has to be upon precept, line upon line. Take care a little and take there a little. I am not TB Joshua or TB tuberculosis or TB Joker that will just take just one verses, no precept at all. He will just run race with that because it's empty. Here in this temple of Abba Yahuwah, which is me, fully loaded with the word of Abba Yahuwah. Man shall not live by bread only, but by every single word that proceeded out of the blessed mouth of Abba Yahuwah. Let's begin to fill our spirit now with the word, the eternal word of Abba Yahuwah. I mean, the elect, are we ready to do that and to look into the reinforcement of TB Joshua returning into the synagogue or being buried in the synagogue or being retained in the synagogue? It is satanic reinforcement of simply let the dead simply begin to bury their own dead bodies. Quickly, I have to say this. Please, in case you hear worldly song sound, I'm not the one playing it because I don't live alone. Okay, I live with some people, so they are the one playing the worldly song. I don't do it and never will I. Because I know song carries spirits. I pray. I sing spiritual song. I don't sing worldly song. Okay, in case you hear it from the background, I'm not the one doing it and never will I sing spiritual song. I quickly want to chip that in. All right, now scriptures now. Want to start over here. In Matthew chapter 23, verses 27. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto white sepulchre. Okay, sepulchre. Okay, let me use NIV. That one, break it down. Okay, a little bit, much understanding. This one we say sepulchre. I think some of us don't understand what sepulchre means. Simply mean grave, okay? But I would like to use NIV. It put it in a very simple language. Everyone should be assessing, okay, or processing or whatever. Okay, now we're here already, 23. Now verses 27. Okay, now. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs. You see how this one put it? Whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of dead men bones and everything unclean. Do you see the graveyard of TB, tuberculosis, TbJoker? Very beautiful, I must say. Oh no, scripture is too complete. I love the royal law so much. So beautiful. When I first of all saw, I said, wow, this looks so beautiful. They said they use over $1 million. For what reason? For graveyard. You decorated graveyard. Again, Yahushua said also in this very passage that you decorate, you garnished the graveyard. You decorate the graveyard. Who were the one that decorates and garnished the graveyard? It was the Pharisees. From where? They are from Babylon. Babylonia. Pharisees simply mean, they put away one because when our forefather returned from Babylon, they couldn't sort out some group, lineage. their tribes, whether to see if their origin were indeed from the tribe of Yazrael, yeah, from the family of the chosen nation Yazrael. You can see that in Isaiah chapter 8, I think, verses 17, when it said the Babylonians convert into our belief, and while they were returning back, I think Ezra chapter 1 and 2, you're going to see it over there, they now also returned back home with us, and when they now came, they couldn't sort some group, family where they came from, so they not believed they could be the convert from Babylon, so they not put them aside and put the every street that never you dare come to the holies of holies. You can't occupy you can't even come nigh anything that have to do with the priesthood. Fearful, that's the meaning of Pharisees. Pharisees simply mean put away one, a separate people. That's the meaning of Pharisees, okay? So they are from Babylon. And TB tuberculosis. Oh my Abba. I've never seen a graveyard like this. So, okay, let's go there. Do you see the mausoleum? Well, I saw there, I say, hey, KKK. So gorgeous, so beautiful. But you look so beautiful on the outward appearance. But inside of you, this is the whitewashed tomb. But inside of it, what we are going to look inside this now. Please put aside this physical part. If you follow this physical part, it's heaven on earth. Let me put it so. I'm sorry, I think I'm not blaspheming. But I don't have enough word to describe how beautiful the silly ties. Check it out. They even have visitor part. Like a feed where he normally, goes into that wilderness where he normally pray. They also garnished it. Look at the white ties. In the synagogue premises. And now, so let's put aside the beauty of it. But Yahushua said, you are like the whitewashed tomb that looks so beautiful on the outside, but what is inside? Let's go now. We want to go inside the grave. What is there? Full of dead bones and what? Every uncleanness, everything unclean. So what is unclean? So let's do it together. I want to see who dwells in the graveyard, whose home, whose throne, whose kingdom is called graveyard. Graveyard has a deity, okay? He has a ruler. He has a king. Who is he? Abayuwa said, in fact, let me just quickly throw it out. Numbers chapter 19. A prince or whatever, including us, we are not allowed to go near dead body. When you do that, you must wash yourself, okay? Because it's unclean. And that is what I wanted to say. Why is it unclean? Mark chapter 5. Take it from verses 1 through 9. I think I'm going to be taking, okay, yes, let me take from 2. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately they meet him out of the tombs, whitewashed tombs, a man with unclean spirit, because tombs contain everything unclean. 3. When he had, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because the demons there, they are so violent. And we see that, temperamental demon. That demon was so temperamental, because when TbJoker died, we see it was kind of pepper body. It was so restless, running here and there. Let me not go ahead of myself. Okay, so there needs to be chain with chains. Okay, for them, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. No one, okay, because he's so violent. What makes him so violent? Listen up. Verses 5 now. Always night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. There is no rest in the tomb. There is no rest in the tomb. So we rush over when we saw Yahushua. We see he did something over there, but let's take this. But when he saw Yahushua far off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou son of the Most High Yahuwah? I adjourn thee by Yahuwah that thou torment me not, because The presence of Yahuwah simply means torment. And the presence of Yahuwah is not in the grave, except if you want to turn the situation around. He goes to the grave and pick his own because he wants to set you free. But not for a graveyard to be put inside the so-called synagogue. I think I'm running out of time. Let me not make too much elaboration on that. Verses 8. For he said unto him, Come out of him, thou unclean spirit. 9. And he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many. Because graveyard is the house of demons. Legions, you can't even count. Legions dwells in the grave. And let me tell you, the return of TbJoker dead body to the synagogue is the worst state of it all. Now I want to see. He said, For we are many. You can't even count. So when TbJoker died and that demon went out of him, let's see what that demon was doing. That is why almost all of them were saying it. TbJoker, Joker, not Joshua. Yeah. Are you mad? Thunder strike you, what's my name? Joker. Tell me talk my baloko. Thunder strike you. Yeah? Now you are in fire already. That was settled. But I will still keep flogging you here on earth in your what's my name. To make that fire, keep hotty. To 28 degrees. 28 degrees is the hottest place in the link of fire. So to keep making it bubbly on TbJoker. Listen now. When this guy died, we see, in fact, one guy, Asian guy in Italy, that one was crying on social media, begin to beg TbJoker to leave him alone, Now, sir, because that demon was so restless, seeking for a place to enter. So, you see now, they live in the graveyard. Now you see the reason why TbJoker buried in their synagogue. So quickly, let's put this. Let me see if I'm accurate with what I put down. Yes, we proceed over there. Now Matthew chapter 12. We take from 43. And when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places. That was what that demon, legions of demon that possessed this man. Well, TbJoker was a lying spirit. I have 10 good faith prophecy. I have it. Maybe the other video I'm going to do the water you are packing in your stomach. I'm going to let you know what was that. What is that? Fat. Maybe I'll recount all the 10 prophecies that fit. It was a lying spirit. Okay. Now, when he died, these legions of demons that returned into the synagogue as a grave down. So beautiful on the outward. But inside, you see what is in it? Inside, what is in it? Legions of demons. That is what returned back to that synagogue now of all demons. That was why Abaywa said, this is the synagogue of all demons, the throne of Satan. Listen now. Oh, what am I doing? I missed one part. No, it shouldn't have been so. Oh, no. That was your life. Oh no, quickly let me put this. I think I jotted it. Oh no. Prior to the title. Why TbJoker was buried in his synagogue of all demons is reinforcement of let the dead bury their own dead. Now let me tell you, synagogue is a people, it's a location, and is a pride. This is the part the devil wanted to steal away from me. When you go to Revelation chapter 21, verses 1 and 2, you're going to see the New Jerusalem is a location in the Holy Land. When you go to verses 9, is a bride, the wife of Messiah. And when you go to verses 10, 11, 12, is a people, the 12 tribes of Israel. So synagogue, like manner, it simply means place of worship. Okay, though is a Greek language because ours simply means temple. Okay, now, the way you also read 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 16 through 17, it said we are the temple of YAHUAH. So the temple of YAHUAH is a place, location, is a people, and is a bride. Okay, we are all the bride. The elect is the bride of Yahushua. So synagogue is a place called Tuegbe. Is a people, we see the people already, and is a bride. Whose bride? The bride of the graveyard. Who is in the graveyard? Come on now. I'm going to be letting you know who dwells in the graveyard. You see the The legions of demons, but they have a king. And that is the one we want to look into now. TB Joshua dead body retained in the synagogue is simply mean the worst of it all. Catholicism. That's what those ones also do. Bury dead people inside the. Oh no. And you said that is the gathering, the assemblies of Yahuwah now. Yahuwah forbid that. It's an unclean spirit. Listen up. What was that? Where was that? Okay, quickly we return back to Matthew chapter 12, verses 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walked through dry places, seeking rest, and found not. There's no rest. You see, that guy in the graveyard was cutting himself, crying night and day. When they are worshiping, you're gonna be worshiping the synagogue, you're gonna be saying it. Oh, wonderful! Oh, powerful worship. Now, in a nutshell, he's crying, causing themselves with eternal destruction. 44. Then he said, I will return. TB shall return back to the synagogue. The man in the synagogue. Then he said, I will return into my house. Synagogue is his house, okay? From whence I came out. You know, he came out from the body. Now he's there. Demas. And when he is come, he found it empty, swept, and garnished. Listen, he then goeth he and taketh with him seven other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there, and the least state of that man is worse than the first. So even so shall it be. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Come on, let's break it down. Let's process it. Let's process it now. TB Joshua, don't get it twisted. It's a spirit now. It's in the fire. But his body is the food of serpent. Because dust you are, and dust you will return. And where is the dust? In the grave. Now listen, we are still coming into that. Who is using his body now? It is the legions of demons. Because his body is a familiar body that you knew. So demon is going to enter that body, because without spirit, that body is useless. So devil is going to pick up that body, fill it now again, just as he was when he was alive, legions of demons carrier. Legions of demons is also going to enter that body, begin to use that body now to reveal themselves unto you. We are still coming into the dust you are, okay? This message is fully loaded, and I don't want to do part 2. I'm going to do Kotane. Listen, but I will try to break this down. Now, TB Joshua returning back, body, dead body unclean, that contain every unclean thing, returning back into the synagogue, simply mean returning back of the legions of demons that went out of him. And he said when that legions of demons return back, it's going to, the situation of synagogue and the people that dwell there is going to be worse than before. What is the worst? The worst simply mean lake of fire. And what is the 7th and the 8th demon? Because he was one. And 7 return back with him, more wicked. So what is the 7 that return back to him? It is perfection. It simply means well done. It simply means finished. That is a complement of demon returning back to the synagogue, and it's going to make synagogue here on earth, and it's going to make every worshiper in there, oh no, situation so worse than before. He said this one that returned back is more wicked, dangerous than TB Joshua himself. Because why? It is legions of demons. What are they bringing now to you? The link of fire. They're going to bind you severely with themselves, because they need body to possess. They need to enter people's body. As soon as you begin to, keep worshiping over there, doing nonsense, you are worshiping demon anyway. Therefore, they're going to enter you. Each one of you is going to be possessed by the legions of demons. You see that man that was in the graveyard? Mark chapter 5, your situation is going to be like that. And when you die, the worst, the link of fire, you'll be cast into fire. Let's put some up. So now that we have break this down a little bit, should I still keep on with the flesh? No, let me just finish it. Okay, flesh you are, and flesh you will return. Dust you are, dust you are, and dust you will return. Now, so every one of you are building your eternal state. Okay, now when you go to Matthew chapter 7, verses 21 through 27, whereby Messiah said, if anyone heard this word of mine, teaches of mine, word of mine, and you did not put it into practice. He said, you are like a man that built his house on top of the sand, where wind blow and the rain fall. The rain is the days of Noah, and the wind is the days, oh now, of Lot. Fire. Ruach HaKodesh simply means wind. Fire is wind. Now I said when the wind blow, we know Sodom and Gomorrah was burned, roast to ashes. Now it said when the rain fall, Noah's days, and the wind blow, Lord's day, it said you're gonna fall with a great crash. Your crash is gonna shatter. Your great crash is gonna be you descending into the hottest place, the 28-degree part in the link of fire. Is the worst of it all. Listen now. You build your house, you build your eternal state. Your sons, your daughters, your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, your family. In the synagogue, you build on top of the grave. There's dust is the grave. Listen now. Genesis chapter 3. Come on now. Abiyahu says, serpent, you're going to be eating dust all the days of your life. What is that? Now, dust is you are. You are dust, and dust you shall return. I think chapter 9, verses 19. That is Genesis chapter 3 could be verses 19. Dust you are, and dust you're going to return. And what is the food of serpent? Dust. Serpent eat human. Now, as for our body, physical body, desire physical food for nourishment, okay, for growth, and also to sustain you. In like man, our spirit being. Now, come on and listen. Serpent is feeding on your body. They are witches are wizards, drinking their own blood, eating their own flesh. That is what is going to be taking place in the synagogue of our devil. Now, spiritual. The teaching of YAHUAH is our spiritual food that is going to also nourish our body, sustain our spirit indefinitely. In like man, what is the spiritual food of these people? The serpent, the fallen deities. What was that? It's also visions and revelations and their teachings. Now, what is their teaching? As soon as TbJoker, they then begin to see vision, and they now begin to bring vision. TbJoker said, you people should do it like this. TbJoker said, you people should do it like that. TbJoker, TB tuberculosis, TB link of fire, begin to give them message. It's no more him. It is the legions of demon that was fighting to return, and he has already succeeded in returning back to the synagogue by his flesh, the food of serpent, also the vision of serpent, buried in the synagogue premises. That is the return of that demon. It's going to be eating you raw physically, and it's also going to be feeding you now with his own vision, which is going to be your eternal food. What could that be? The link of fire. Yes, the link of fire, because it's his food. It's his food, okay, to fill you with nonsense. Like all those people, the other one said, this angel carried TbJoker to where? The other one said, 4 angels carry him to where? The other one said, TbJoker is in the sky crying diamond. Oh, devil. Where, how did it happen? The other one said, TbJoker is in the cloud dancing with his father and is tormenting him to say, go and deliver this message. No, that is a lie. That is no more him, but his body is at work. Now that they buried him inside that is their food, spiritual, okay? That is their spiritual food, because it said, milk belongs to baby. Why? Milk. Yeah, milk belongs to baby. Why the meat belongs to the adults? Okay, meat simply means revelations, visions, and revelation. Why milk simply means the Bible say, John 3:16. For YAHUAH so loved the world, so play and that like that. Okay, now we see that already. So let's put some more. Let's go to synagogue of all demons. Because YAHUAH make it so clear that dust you are, dust you're going to return, and that is the food of serpent, and you build it in the dust, and the dust return back to the synagogue, which is the graveyard. Simply mean devil is feeding on you, your spirit, your physical body, everything. Afterwards, you yourself you go and eat the eternal, what is this? Eternal suffering. All right, now we want to check into synagogue. We see already what was that. Listen now. Revelation chapter 2, verses 9. I know that. Should we take it from 8? And unto the angel of the congregation in Smyrna, right. When you say angels, they simply mean the leader, okay? The leader, that is the minister or the pastor or the bishop or the whatever. That is the leader of that ministry, okay? They're speaking to his angel, because we're going to be like angel. Listen up. And unto the angel of the congregation in Smyrna write, this thing saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. Listener, I know that works, and that tribulation, and that poverty. Come on now, a true believer needs to be poor for now until the biblical Messiah comes. And I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. So when it comes, that is the only way a true believer needs to be reached. That is the only way we're gonna be rich. That is the only way we're gonna be, enriched by Him. We are gonna be enriched by Him. He's the one to enrich us. We cannot be rich on our own. You must be poor because a lot of things is gonna be fighting against you. Christian pastor, let me just drop that one. We will do one. Water they are packing your stomach. The river Okun, the Red Sea water they are packing your stomach. So we'll look into that. Maybe we'll be putting that, or we can also let go. And he said, and when he also goes to Romans chapter 11, he said the falling away of the people of the book is the riches to the Gentiles. So obviously Gentiles is the one ruling. Whether you are Christian, whatever you are Gentile. Because the people of the book needs to be poor until Messiah come. We can't go up now. Listen, he's the one to raise us up. Listen. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Yahudims and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Come on now. Satan's throne is in the Kotuwegbeo. The return of the dead body of TbJoshua, TbTuberculosis, and TbJoker is the worst of it. In fact, TbJesus is the worst of it. Or listen now. Yahudim simply means just one tribe. Yahudim simply means Jewish, they will say Jewish. It simply means one tribe, not all the 13 tribes. We call 13 tribes, 12 original tribes, and one extended tribe from Yusuf, which is Ephraim and Manasseh. You can see that in Numbers chapter 1 and Numbers chapter 2, all 13 tribes is being listed over there, okay? Now listen, one tribe is the kingly tribe. When you say Jewish, is speaking of Yahudim, the one you call Yahudah, or the one you call Judah is Yahudah, meaning the worshipper of Yahuwah. Now listen, he said, these people is going to be claiming they are the Yahudi. That is, they are from the tribe, the kingly tribe, because the kingly tribe, we are the one that is so close to the king, because it's from the tribe of Yahudah, the Messiah. Now, he said they're going to be claiming that they are from the tribe of the king, that they are so close to the king, they hear from the king, they are the king's anointing carrier. He said, a lie. He said that is a pure lie, blatant lie from the pit of hell. Who are they? The synagogue of Satan. Remember, synagogue is a location, a Kotuegbe, and the other one is in the Holy Lands. Number one, he repeated it twice. Kotuegbe, and their people, and the wife, the bride of Demas. Genesis chapter 6 is the return of Demas, okay? TbJoshua dead body, TbTuberculosis dead body, buried in the synagogue premises. And now. All right, now we take it again. Revelation 3, 7 through 12. And to the angel of the congregation in Philadelphia, Philadelphia simply means brotherly love. This is the kingly tribe, okay? Right, this thing saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that has the key of David. You see, David is the royal king, the very first dynasty of the royal king, not Samuel. No, what is his name? Not Saul. No, it's David, the royal, the very first dynasty of the royal throne. He that openeth. Okay, let's leave that. I'm going a place now. 8. I know that works. Behold, I have set before thee. Okay, set before thee. I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut. For thou hast a little strength. They are still poor. Money is power. Money is strength. Ecclesiastic chapter 10 verses 19 said, money answer all things. But these people, they were nothing answered for them because they were so late. They were having little strength. And kept, and now, okay, let me take it again. I know that works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. His name is not it's not Jesus, okay? His name is Yahushua HaMashiach. He said, I come in my father's name. Everyone carry his or her father's name. My father's name is Osaiho, meaning Elohim, God knows my heart. And my name is Isoken, meaning this one feed my heart, okay? I carry my father's name. His name is Joshua, the very one this bastard is impersonating. His name is Joshua, okay? And we now blend it up. John 5:43, he said, I come in my father's name. You receive me not. Another one is coming in his own name. Him, you're going to receive. Jesus is another one. His name is Yahweh. That is why his name is Yahushua, meaning I am is salvation. His own name is Joshua, meaning salvation. But you now blend it up with his father's name, Yahushua. The letter J that gave you Jesus isn't yet 400 years old. The history have it, the world have it. First King James translation. First time the English Bible being translated in this world. First time the whole world have what is called English Bible. It is being done in the year 1611, which simply means to say 410 years now. Or 410 years now. Yeah. 1611, 410 years. No Jesus there because the letter J wasn't used that time. So we kept his name. The one the angel brought, Yahushua HaMashiach. We kept it. We kept his word. What is his word? John 14:50 said, if you love me, keep my commandment. And John 14 verses 24 said, he that love me not will not keep my commandment, for the word that I speak is not my, but of him who sent me. So we keep his word. And Jesus said he destroyed his head. But Yahushua said, don't even think so that I've come to do that, but rather to fulfill until when? Until the heavy and the earth is no more. Matthew, you can see that over there, 5:17 through 20, and Revelation 21, and said, there I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first one is no more. Listen now, we are going somewhere. Verses 10, verses 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Yahudims. They are liars, okay? And are not, but do lie. You know, TbJoker carried lying spirit, prophesied 10 good prophecy that failed. It was a lying spirit. Behold, I will make them to come and worship at thy feet. What is feet? Is to rule. Simply mean ruler. When you go to Matthew 24, it said, when you see the abomination of desolation, stand in the holy place. Run for your life. It simply means to rule. Feet simply means to rule. When it stand, is to stand. You can also see that in Daniel chapter 11, verses 3. Stand to rule. And to know that I have loved thee. So Yahushua is going to pick out his elect. He's going to show them not to the word when he comes. He's going to elevate us. He's going to promote us. Listen at verses 10. Because thou kept the word of my patience, and also will I keep thee from the hour of tribulation, which shall come upon the whole earth to test them that do of the serious problem is coming. You can take it. So I'm going to make we are the pillar in the house of Yahweh. So let's drop that. What are we saying? We see the synagogue of Satan. People is coming to be personated. People is coming to be, wearing that garment. People is coming to be facing that crown on the side and say, this is who I am. That is self-ordained synagogue, which is not the synagogue of Satan. We see what is in the synagogue of Satan, legions of demons. And we just get that confirmation. TbJoker, dead body returning back to the synagogue. It is the worst of it all. Now, even in the royal governing system, the Gentiles is not even allowed to come into the holies. No, not into the holies, that is into the inner court. The Gentile seat of worship is simply outer court, not in holy, because inner court is the place of the people of the book, the elect, while the holies of holies is the place of YAHUAH himself, Yahushua, in person of Yahushua. Now, even Gentiles themselves, you are not allowed to enter into the inner court. Check out Acts of Apostles chapter 21. You're going to see this where the sum of charges that brought against Apostle Shahu, whom you call Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles. This was the sum of charges that brought against it, that he brought unclean people into the inner court instead of them standing in the outer court, because that is the place. Revelation 11 verses 1 through 2. When YAHUAH said his angel to go and mention the worship place, remember Jerusalem or synagogue is a location people and a bride. Now, when the Abba was sent for angel to go and do that, measure us. Now, what happened? In that measure, it said the outer court of that temple. We are the temple of Yahweh. It said, but the outer court, the place of worship, don't measure, for that one is given unto the Gentiles. It is their seat outside. Now, for Gentile to not even come into the holy place of worship, how much a dead person? A dead person is the worst of it all. A dead person is a taboo. That is the word. Is the taboo before Abayo. You bring a dead person inside the church, buried him there, inside your church, because you call it church. We call it congregation, assembly, gathering, temple. Abayowa's presence. What is death? Death simply means separation from Abayewa. It simply means separation from Abayewa, the author of life, into another thing, darkness, where you will be tormented all eternity. That is why it's so clear. Now, let's say where the seat of Satan is in a synagogue in Nigeria, a court to be dead body returning back to the synagogue. Revelation 2:12. And to the angel of the congregation in Pergamos write these things which saith he, which has the sharp sword with two edges. Okay, 13. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, power, authority, is in the synagogue. Okay, where Satan's seat is, when his seat is going to rule, is taking rest in people in his graveyard. He said because when that demon run, because he couldn't find rest without entering into body, he can't find rest. Okay, but when he entered there, he got rest in the synagogue. He's taking rest among all of you, whether through television, Emmanuel television, whatever. He's just taking his rest, ruling over you. And thou holdest fast my name and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slay among you, where Satan dwelleth. Okay, keep reading to 16. 16 talk about the teachings of Balaam. Okay, always cast his stubby block upon the people of the book not to worship Yahuwah. That is what the returning body of TbJoker, or rather all Christendom, represent. Okay, Balaam, he said, because that is how Balaam cast spell, upon the children of Israel, in order for them to be fornicating and eating the food sacrifice unto idol. That is the art of TbJoker, TbTuberculosis artwork, is the food sacrifice unto idol. You can see the pillar of Numbers 25, 1 to 3, and Numbers 31, verses 16. Apostle Kepha also quoted 2 Peter chapter 2, 14 through 22. In fact, verses 17 said, you are a cursed children. You following the instruction of mermaid, say you are cursed children. Jude 1:11 also make that reference. So quickly now I want to look into let the dead bury their own dead. You see, no room to really liberate on it, but I'm done. I'm done. I don't waste time. So now, in the synagogue of all demons, you see, now legions of demons is over there already. Okay, quickly, I would like to put this. Let the dead bury their own. They want to comment on that. Now, Luke chapter 9, verses 59 through 60. I'm reading only 16. Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury their own dead. But go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahuwah. A disciple lost his father, and he wanted to give that as an excuse to go and bury his father. Yahushua said, don't do that. Just let the dead bury their own dead. You just go and preach the gospel of Yahuwah. Why the dead needs to bury their own dead? Let's put that, okay? Why should the dead bury their own dead? Is Yahushua against burial? Of course, no. We also have burial ground in our royal law, a site where normally we bury. We don't bury people inside the congregation where we fellowship. No, that is a holy sanctuary. That is the presence of Abba Yahuwah. Grave simply means the presence of death. Inside congregation simply means the presence of life. Why should you no? Listen up. Listen. Why did he say his father 100% is unbeliever? He couldn't believe. He didn't believe on Yahushua. He is dead. Why he live? He is dead already. Now he is gone. So let the dead people bury their own dead. Who is the dead that is going to be buried? You see, as the dead body of TbJoker return back to the synagogue, is to be buried their own dead people. So what is dead? Even though you live, you are dead already. Let's quickly put that. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 6. I'm not going to be reading it. It said, if you live in sin, you are dead already. If you are dead already, even though you live, but you are gone. Your spirit is gone because your spirit is trapped already in the graveyard, in the synagogue of Satan. Revelation 3:1, you also check it. They say you have a reputation that you live, say, but you are dead already. Romans 6 verses 23 said the wages of sin is what? Death. Revelation, okay, Revelation chapter 6 through 8. Let's see death, what it is. Revelation 6, I read only verses 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was called what? Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. You see, he carry hellfire along into this world. That when he just kill, we just dump you dead. This is the dead that is going to bury their own dead. Let's put some more. Revelation 9, oh my Abba, 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon. Abaddon simply means the angel of death. Genesis 3. The day you touch it, you shall surely die. But in the Greek tongue, Apollyon, okay, the destroyer. Well, you can also see that in Exodus chapter 12. The destroyer kill every firstborn of its worshipper. Oh, I'm running out of time. I wanted them to do too. Listen now. Numbers chapter 19. I'm not going to be reading that. When you touch a dead person, or you goes to cemetery, you goes to burial, yeah, cemetery. I bet you want to say you are unclean. You must be unclean 7 days, okay? But this one makes a lot of spirituality. Anyway, it says you must until you wash. You will remain unclean until the evening. And Yahushua said, okay, let me put that. But when you touch a dead person, simply mean unclean, okay? Dead person now return into the supposed place called worship. But it's the synagogue of Satan. We see when the biblical Messiah died, he was never buried inside synagogue. No, he was buried in the burials in the tomb. We see that okay, he is the author of life, but yet he still do things accordingly. Okay, Isaiah 53 verses 9, he was buried with the sinners. Okay, okay, where is the other part? Matthew 27 verses 57 through 60, he was buried in the tomb, the graveyard of Joseph of Arimathea. He is the author of life, but he still do things accordingly. Okay. Leviticus 21, you also see over there, you are not allowed to touch a dead body, you will remain unclean, okay? Now, 1 Samuel chapter 28, read it from 28, you can read it all, and also 31 verses 6, read it all. What appeared to Saul? It was death, but that one was that demon was possessing the dead body, the body of a great prophet of Yahuwah, Prophet Simeon, whom you call Samuel, by a witch of Edom. A witch of Edom invoked this spirit from because they were using his body. TbJoker's body is being possessed now by legions of demons. A whole man of Yahuwah, they still possess his body, righteous man. Talk less of this fool, TbJoker, the lying spirit. So a devil possessed that body, and now appear unto Saul and his children, and they died. He said, tomorrow you're going to be with me. And it was so, because death appeared unto them. But he now put on the body of the man of Yahuwah. TbJoker is in the